The Asteraceae family, a global botanical marvel, is found in numerous countries across the world. Its diversity is particularly present in the tropical and subtropical areas of North America, South America, also South Africa, the Mediterranean regions, and Central Asia. While the majority of Asteraceae species are herbaceous, the family's diversity includes also shrubs and trees. These woody star blossomers are found primarily in the tropical regions of North America, Africa, and Madagascar. There are about 420 known medicinal species in the Asteraceae family. In addition to their use in cosmetics and beauty products, this family has a long history in many traditional and complementary systems of medicine, including homeopathy, aromatherapy, anthroposophical medicine, and traditional herbal medicine. Scientists have found the oldest known member of this family in a nearly 50 million years old fossil flower. That means that the family is no younger than this. It could be older, said Jorge Crisci, a botanist at the Museum of La Plata in Argentina. And one of the study's authors says, "This can help us find out the key of the success of the family." The specimen here was found in northwest Patagonia, in what is now a dry, windy area. Millions of years ago, when the flower was in bloom, the region had a more tropical climate. Previous fossil specimens of the family have primarily been pollen grains, giving little insights into what ancestral plants might have looked like. But the new fossil is striking, with leaves and blooms. Though the details are not clear, it looks somewhat like a dandelion. Prior research using molecular DNA indicates that the family may have originated in South America, and the new fossil evidence appears to support this. Studies have shown that the Asteraceae are especially effective in the treatment of upper respiratory tract infections, for example in the Echinacea subspecies, in the care of pain and traumatic or post-operative injuries, for example in the Arnica montana, in the prevention and management of radiation skin reactions, dermatitis, for example Calendula officinalis. They are the stars in botany. The word comes from Latin aster equals star. The Asteraceae radiate outward with well-defined symmetry and geometry. As a whole, they are more cosmic in orientation. Generally speaking, star forms and flowers uplift consciousness, bestowing light, harmony, and synthesis. Most star forms speak to the spiritual and mental aspects of the soul life. This is a quote from Flower Society. And also in terms of their special geometry. There is a vortex structure in the flowers, and which is typical for this plant family. Here you see it in a tansy flower. One can recognize the center-oriented expansion and contraction, and the astral churning of energies, typical for vortical structures. The spiral or vortex is the universal fractal. It means going from point to infinity. This is the cosmic geometry in the hands of spirit. A vortex is the self-expanding, self-contracting light of spirit. Coming back to myself, I create again and again. The dynamics of evolution are vortexes becoming vortexes of vortexes, says Alan Barrow, which is quite a nice idea because you definitely find the vortex in many plants and natural phenomena, and the vortex can include subtler strata of vortexes also. The plant usually spirals up to the sky in a vertical formation, and it spirals down into the earth, also in a vortical formation. The Asteraceae family is the master engineer of vortical dynamics, and this is mainly apparent in the flower, of course. What a miracle of cosmic intelligence repeating itself endlessly in the game of creation. Here's a nice quote from Albert Einstein. "The human mind is not capable of grasping the universe. We are like a little child entering a huge library. The walls are covered to the ceilings with books in many different tongues. The child knows that someone must have written these books. It does not know who or how. It does not understand the languages in which they are written, but the child notes a definite plan in the arrangement of the books, a mysterious order which it does not comprehend, but only dimly suspects." Here a picture of Helichrysum italicum. In the orderness of the flower we can recognize a key healing signature of the Asteraceae flower. And here another quote. "In the human being, the central organizing principle is our essential individuality, our spiritual self or higher ego. The Asteraceae essences assist our relationship with our spiritual identity, our sun self or star self. They are primarily flower essences that develop our consciousness." Here, for example, a picture of Madia flowers, another example of star blossomers. Here's a quote on the Madia flower. "Madia helps to calm and center both body and mind so that greater forces of concentration can be naturally developed by the soul itself in meditation, study, and daily responsibilities requiring mindful focus. It has been helpful for those who are easily distracted, especially during the afternoon or when exposed to heat, and for those with chronic problems of scattered attention, including attention deficit disorder, a syndrome that could be a diagnosis for our contemporary society as a whole." The Asteraceae flower, with its self-transcending astral opening up principle, is characterized by its complex fragrance and often by its essential oils also. Its build-up has another aspect. The curving back through its vortical dynamics in the flower with its petals and later with its seeds can engineer also the creation of seed oils through concentrating on the substance or metaphytes via these seed oils or carrier oils. This is the second phase of the floral process in a plant, the formation of seeds, which means back to the earth principle, back to the soil, and the seeds will carry some of the floral fragrance of the plant, but mainly the fats, the nourishing mother milk, you can say, with their fatty acids, and this carrying to the next generation of plant. A quote, "Life pours forth from a mysterious and mighty source, abundant beyond all human capacity to comprehend. A large sunflower produces over 1,000 seeds arranged in an extraordinary spiral pattern. Life is fecund. As we saw, volatile and fatty oils, both possible, present in the Asteraceae plants. They relate to worms, but otherwise they are polar opposites. In volatile oils, the substance separates into the warm element in a centrifugal process. In fatty oils, warmth turns into substance. Volatility is the essence of the former, and concentration the essence of the latter." This is from Wilhelm Pelikan in Healing Plants. Or do you remember René Gattefossé, the famous founder of modern aromatherapy, when he explained, quote, "Today, like in old times, we can call volatile substances vital substances. Volatility and fragrance are signals of considerable physiological activity and energy." Gattefossé proved in his research that volatile aromatic substances, means essential oils, take over the role of antitoxic agents, that is, of antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal principles in plants, and through them in man. These principles are very much present in the essential oils and herbal extracts of the Asteraceae family. According to Godfosset, aromatic energies can also be compared to powerful vitamins and hormones. Here's another quote. "We can understand chamomile as a plant of the light and of air. It brings gentle warmth from the sun to relax the solar plexus. Like the chamomile flower tea, which relaxes the stomach, the chamomile flower essence soothes and releases emotional tension that is held in the stomach or solar plexus region. Chamomile also balances and regulates airy processes. As a plant that is permeated by air, even to the interior of the flower, it has mastered and subdued this element. It can calm overly sanguine or frenetic emotions, thoughts, and activity when one has difficulty relaxing, especially when it is time to sleep. Can all this have to do with the high therapeutic potential of the Asteraceae family in treating cancer? Remember maybe Rudolf Steiner, founder of anthroposophy, when he explained an interesting viewpoint on cancer. Quote, "Tumorous formations of every kind arise primarily from the actual enmity of certain processes within the physical body against the action of the etheric body. These processes rebel, as it were, so that the etheric body ceases to act in certain regions of the physical body. The etheric body, however, has very great powers of regeneration, and the methods of spiritual science reveal that if it is possible to remove the hindrance and expel the inimical action, the tumor can be overcome. We may lay down the rule that in cases of tumors, it will be necessary to stimulate through the forces of nature the removal of the counteracting physical processes that oppose the etheric body, so that the etheric body may once more extend its working to the region where it had temporarily receded." That sounds a bit like the breakdown of the so-called biophotonic emission or ultra-weak coherent light emission in cancer, studied by Professor Popp, a famous cancer scientist who also mentioned in his research the chaotic tendencies in human psychophysiology linked to cancer. Why should we not think of using those medicinal plants and their essential oils which seem to have a straight connection with the reinforcement of the etheric body in man? We know today, when disease and illness are present, they may manifest as chemical imbalances. But underlying this is an electromagnetic imbalance that has altered the specific vibrational frequencies of molecules, cells, tissues, and organs within the body. After decades of research on the etiology of cancer, with dozens of approaches, some of them highly speculative, others highly allopathic, we have amazing evidence in the meantime that cancer is basically a problem of a depletion of our field energy on the more subtle levels of the human system. To restore the energy of the system and target the underlying causes of this devitalization has to be the major focus in any successful cancer therapy. Properly retuning the body to its original frequency brings it into balance and restores its natural harmonic resonance. Illness either doesn't manifest or is resolved. Let us not forget, each drop of an essential oil is liquid energy of cosmic light. Each drop can nurture every cell in our body with 40,000 molecules of pure biophotonic energy. This is from David Stewart, The Chemistry of Essential Oils Made Simple. Let's rather say again, to nurture our body with prana, the intelligent life force in the universe. Living molecules of volatile fragrance for enhancing vital energies in man. Since essential oils are the result of a cosmic interaction of plants with the sun, representing biophotonic energies or energies of light we have seen, we can use aromatherapy in manifold ways to rekindle the inner vitality, the inner Agni, Sanskrit for fire, for light in Ayurveda. I'm thinking specifically of essential oils with high amounts of ketones, monoterpenes, sesquiterpene ketones, sesquiterpene lactones, etc. And particularly here in our context of oils, we think from the star blossomers of the Artemisia genus and its different compounds. Of course, immediately one thinks also of the famous artemisinin, which is a sesquiterpene lactone in the Artemisia. But one can also emphasize the importance of ketonic compounds, such as artemisia ketone, pinocamphone, alpha-thuione, beta-thuione, etc. So, could there be a connection between these compounds and the body of light in us humans? We can ask that question. Maybe it is possible. Is it not remarkable that ketonic oils, for example, count among the most efficient parasite killers in nature, such as worms, nematodes, etc.? These creatures are definitely linked to the earth element, whereas ketones are linked to the etheric or astral energy fields, which by principle are more negentropic, more orderly than the matter fields. Also, the fact that ketones easily dissolve fats belongs to the same view. Plants and their essential oils rich in ketones and sesquiterpene lactones such as hyssop, mugwort, tansy, sage, pennyroyal, calamint, wormwood, artemisiana we saw, and many of the Artemisia genus plants, they all have their word to say in the same context of raising spiritual energies in man and lighting up matter fields in the body, which has become corrosive through the impact of numerous interior and exterior stress factors. Ketonic oils, for example, are astral, or in a sense, disincarnating energies, as I say often. One of the reasons why they are strongly abortive and not to be taken by pregnant mothers or young children. But they are powerful, vibrant energy carriers with multiple functions within the connection of our body of light, connection with the physical body. Again, I think that ketonic compounds in oils are specifically adapted to support the energy body or the biophotonic communication inside the network of cells. Ketones are really special inside the plant kingdom. It is clear that the ketonic effulgence of essential oil plants transfers cosmic radiation to our body, giving often a decisive kick to our physiological matter fields if they have become chaotic and have caused illnesses, disease, as we have seen. And this action could be of burning concern for us today in our modern world, as we have so much strive in the dark, still trying to understand the true causes of all the numerous degenerative diseases, for example, like cancer, diabetes, multiple sclerosis, etc., etc. In modern aromatherapy, when people raise questions about the use of ketonic oils and often call them risky or even toxic, we should remember Hippocrates from ancient Greece, who said in terms of medicine from plants, everything is toxic, nothing is toxic. The dosage makes the difference. What we call toxic today is always part of the plant's evolution over hundreds of millions of years on planet Earth. For each medicinal plant, there is a reason that it still exists. And for each disease, there is a plant, or plants, plural, that can help. And there is a reason for their often amazing complexity of biochemical richness. Why ring the alarm bell, as it has become fashion in numerous circles of chemical allopathic medicine, against the power molecules of Mother Nature? And what would we say about the synthetic power molecules of modern allopathic medicine? As to the plant medicine, which modern medicine wishes to forget, there's only one target for us: to learn more about nature in order to understand her intricate functioning and become, as much as possible, experts in self-healing. And this, in terms of aromatherapy, is not only a subject of ketones, of course. For each of the thousands of biochemical compounds, it is the same. Of course, we want to know the correct way to use the plants and their oils, and we can be happy that modern biochemical research has led us to a much better understanding of nature's alchemy. But as it often happens today, to first isolate all its powerful compounds and then, in their isolated way, declare them toxic, and then, even better, reproduce them synthetically and mixing them into business-oriented allopathic pills and drugs, that is a very questionable and misleading attitude towards nature as such. Also, the Sesquiterpene lactones, as we have seen above, are part of a very important biochemical compound group within the Asteraceae family. Here, quote, Sesquiterpene lactones constitute a large and diverse group of biologically active plant chemicals that have been identified in the oils of several plant families, especially in the Asteraceae group. The two pharmacological properties of interest involving the sesquiterpene lactones are their antibacterial and antifungal activities. And also, quote, various sesquiterpene lactones have been demonstrated to execute their anti-cancer capability via inhibition of inflammatory responses, prevention of metastasis, and induction of apoptosis. Taken together, many sesquiterpene lactones are emerging as promising anti-cancer agents with potential applications in both cancer chemotherapy and chemoprevention. Sesquiterpene lactones in essential oils are mainly stemming from the Asteraceae family. For example, wormwood, Artemisia absinthium, feverfew, Chrysanthemum parthenium, yarrow, Achillea millifolium, German chamomile, of course, Chamomilla matricaria, Inula graveolens or Inula helenium, and of course the Artemisia annua, which we already mentioned. Here's a quote again on this group. Sesquiterpenoids are typically located in lactifers also, which are specialized secretory cells in most of the Asteraceae, but can also be found within the vacuoles of other cell types in the plant, specifically when produced in response to biotic stress. They are one of the main constituents of latex in latex-producing plants, and they are frequently potent antimicrobial agents, as well as anti-fedans to chewing insects and birds. And another quote here, plants as well as animals must withstand attacks from microbes. Being sessile, they make easy targets for pathogens and are unable to avoid stressful climates, which may reduce their ability to withstand infections. It comes then as no surprise that they are capable of producing a range of chemicals which help them withstand attack from fungi, bacteria, and viruses. Typically, these compounds take the form of alkaloids, phenolics, and terpenoids. In the Asteraceae especially, sesquiterpene lactones are one of the main mechanisms for this defense. Sesquiterpenes reduce harm by microbial attack by disruption of a microbe's cell membrane. And here on the Artemisia, the sesquiterpene lactone artemisinin is currently thought to be the most effective anti-malaria drug available in comparison to other treatments, invariably showing that artemisinin and its derivatives reduce the incidence of malaria infections. And here another quote, artemisinin is a chemical compound extracted from the wormwood plant Artemisia annua. It has been shown to selectively kill cancer cells in vitro and retard the growth of implanted fibrosarcoma tumors in rats. In the present research, we investigated its mechanisms of cytotoxicity to cancer cells. Actually, these lab tests showed that this amazing herb Artemisia annua has the power of killing 98% of cancer cells within 16 hours. Another quote here. Furthermore, work shows that there is much potential for Sesquiterpene lactones in the treatment of cardiovascular diseases and for a range of other effects such as prevention of neurodegeneration, anti-migraine activity, analgesic and sedative activities, and treatment of ailments such as diarrhea, flu, and burns. Essential oils help us to activate the central energies in our body. The Asteraceae plant family is another miracle of Mother Nature to support the evolution of life on this planet. In its intrinsic ways to create this very special build-up of many in one in their flowers, we can see a signature message for us humans from the plant kingdom. I think that we are born from the same starlight of multiplicity in unity, in our own quest for harmony, for connectedness and coherence. Yes, messengers of light they are all, these beautiful plant oils. They support our daily meditation in the most powerful way, raising our consciousness through body awareness and mind awareness at the same time to the higher self. It is from here that we can really connect, meaning that we create and live the reason of our being, meaning also being together with ourselves and the world. It is here that we have given up the deviations and falsifications of all the mental, psychological, social, environmental imprints and traumas. It is here that we have lost it because we have found it. The reality of the human being as designed by divine intelligence, or as beautifully expressed here by the famous German poet Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, nature science has one goal: to find both manyness and whole. Nothing inside or out there. The outer world is all in here. Do grasp this mystery with no delay, the secret always on display, the true illusion celebrated. Be joyful in the serious game. No living thing lives separate. One and many are the same. To conclude, true aromatherapy revives the age-old healing approach of humanity in using essential oils and also carrier oils and hydrosols from all kinds of ethno-medical traditions around the world. We can truly say, for the first time in history, and this also is due to our global connectedness, we have access to the traditional healing treasures of all cultures of the world in our hands, many of them even in our own home pharmacy, for powerful preventive self-care and self-healing. So we can take responsibility in many ways for our own health, become our own guardians of personal well-being.